Hi there. My name is Jaese Lecuyer, and I live in Southern Oregon, and I'm a physical theater and dance artist. I choreograph and direct a lot of musicals for teens, and I work in local high schools on productions. And I'm currently finishing up my Master's of Fine Arts in Theater Education and Directing. So anyways, I'm super excited to be here and share this module with you. And I wanted to just talk a little bit about a few logistics and a little bit about the lesson plan. Hopefully answer some questions that you might have preemptively. So let's see here. The room, this lesson is designed to be in sort of multi-purpose rooms or the classroom. So if you are working in the classroom, you certainly can do a lot of the activities sort of in the aisle between the desks, but if you do have an ability to move desks to the side, that would be great, because having some space for students to move around and sort of explore some of the activities that we're going to be working on would be ideal. And let's see, also along those lines, as far as materials, there is a tiny written portion of the activity, and I think there's something really great about just having that tactile experience of writing ideas down and giving students an opportunity to do that. So if you are able to provide paper and pen or pencil, that would be fantastic. And it's not necessary. Students can remember answers to questions that they're going to be exploring later in the activity. But if pen and paper is available and then they can do some writing, that would be great. The other thing is, if you feel comfortable modeling some of the work that we're going to be doing, I think depending on sort of the level of experience or exposure to theater that students may have. Often I find when I go into a group that doesn't have as much experience that it's really important and valuable to show that I can be goofy and silly. And if you're comfortable doing that and modeling, that I think will just inspire them even more to engage and participate. Of course, I leave that up to you. And then I've stated this in the video, but if you could just reinforce the idea that ideas are really great. It's really great to have a lot of ideas. Do they all necessarily get used in a process? Not necessarily, but I think the key thing to sort of impart on them or with them is that all of those ideas, whether they're used or not, the creative process and the sort of generating of those ideas leads to other ideas. So even though their idea might not be practically used or it might not be obviously visible, it's an important idea, and it may have spawned the idea that then is used. So really trying to drive home the collaborative spirit of theater. And then I'm sure this is already happening in the classroom, but just to reiterate the sort of importance of how to be an audience. Not that we're showing, like making a show per se, but when we're sharing creative ideas, that it's really important that we hold a space of, respect and generosity and supportive and active listening, which again, I'm sure already happens in your classroom. So you can just explain to them that those same expectations are required for the theater process or any sort of exploring that we might be doing. And then also just if you feel comfortable to comment on the creative process as far as what you're seeing being generated in the room. What do you notice? Like just sort of point someone out and, oh, I noticed that so-and-so was doing that. And you can point out similarities or differences. And yeah, just to have sort of that, because I'm not in the room, just to have that sort of verbal acknowledgement and recognition of the work that they're doing in the moment. And also I've left a reflection at the end of this whole lesson. And of course, though, if you choose to break up those questions that you'll see at the end of the module for the reflection, if you want to break those up and intersperse them throughout, that is totally okay. I do both in my lessons, and I find them both effective depending on the group. And you know your group obviously way better than I do, so you'll have a better sense of that. Alrighty, I hope I answered some questions. I hope you have a lot of fun. Thank you for choosing this module, and I will see you in the videos.